Hey, what's up everyone? I have some very interesting news that is taking place right now. A surprise meeting took place between Putin of Russia and Benjamin Netanyahu and Abbas of Israel and Saudi Arabia. The three got together for a surprise meeting. I don't know whether this happened today or within the past few days, but regardless, the meeting took place and it was an unscheduled meeting. By the way, my PayPal link is below if you'd like to support me. It would help out a lot, and I would greatly appreciate it. If you like my content, feel free to subscribe and give your thoughts below. Now on with the video. This surprise meeting was to hopefully push along these peace accords. When Jared Kushner went over there, after finishing the deal President Trump had since the 1980s, Jared Kushner finalized all the details. They went over there, and he had several days he spent over there trying to push the peace accord. Interestingly enough, the Jewish people say the Messiah has arrived, and they don't know who. They won't reveal who it is, but they're teaching that he's here, which has to be the final Antichrist, in my opinion. But no one knows who he is for sure. We can't state that until you know. But interestingly enough, Putin. And this kind of might play into the whole Gog and Magog thing soon, I don't know. But Putin proposes to Netanyahu. He proposes to host. Sounds like I'm talking about a marriage proposal, but that would... Not with Putin, that definitely... Anyway, to host Netanyahu. To host him. He proposed to host. He didn't propose to Netanyahu. That's the farthest from the truth. He proposed to host Netanyahu and Abbas for Israeli-Palestinian Peace Summit. So suddenly, all of a sudden, Putin's getting interested in, and his power is coming back, by the way. For the first time, they said they see a debt-free Russia. Russia has no debt. They said they are a debt-free country, according to recent documents. Now, according to Russian Foreign Minister, the president told Israeli leader that he has interest in overcoming deadlock. Meaning right now, like nothing's taking place right now. The peace accords are in deadlock. Right now, recently what happened when Jared Kushner went over there, they said all it was about was restructuring the borders, just rearranging the entire borders of Israel. That's one of the main things it was about, and the two-state solution and all of that. Just like during the previous administration, what they were going to do, but it was being forced then, and now it seems to be happening naturally. But Putin came in and said Putin is now being used to bolster this peace deal. So it kind of failed due to all of the right now what was going on with the Koreas. Because of all of this investigation over here, it kind of crumbled. And investigation and crap, waste of time and money into this administration. And it kind of crumbled the peace deal, so Trump walked out. President Trump walked out of the peace accords in Syria. Not Syria, I'm sorry, in the Koreas. So, right now, Putin suddenly comes in and says, I have interest in overcoming deadlock on Middle East peace as soon as possible. He wants to meet with the foreign minister, or the president told the Iranian leader he has interest in overcoming deadlock on the peace as soon as possible. He has proposed in his Wednesday meet with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Moscow to host him and Palestinian President Mohammed Abbas for a summit on Middle Eastern peace process. Russia's top diplomat said on Monday that the aim of reassuring direct dialogue without any preconditions. So, that was my Russian accent there a little bit. I've done better Russian accents, but the Middle Eastern peace process, they're looking to push it along right now, this time with Putin. They said they have aim of resuming it, resuming direct dialogue without any preconditions, saying there's nothing in it for them. According to experts for the foreign ministers, they say that the joint press conference with the Saudi Arabian Prime Minister Adel Jubeir posted on the official Twitter account of the Russian embassy in Israel that Netanyahu and Putin discussed the situation in the Israeli-Palestinian settlement. Putin actually discussed the situation in the embassy in the Israeli-Palestinian settlement. The Russian leader reaffirmed our position on Russia's interest in overcoming the deadlock on this matter as soon as possible. Putin said it's important that we overcome deadlock on this peace process as soon as possible. So basically, all these countries are stating, hey, peace, the time is now for peace. If we don't do it now, then never. And right now is the time it's important to overcome the deadlock on it. Lavrov said that both Israeli and Palestinian leaders expressed some interest in such a proposal, without even commenting on whether any party would accept it, but they expressed great interest. We believe that it would be at least a very important step in restoring confidence, Lavrov of Russia added. Without this, it is impossible to count on further progress in the Israeli-Palestinian settlement. Right now, we have several countries, the United States and Russia, and foreign leaders, Israel and Palestine, all meeting and talking together on bringing. Right now, the several major powerful countries are focused on bringing Israel and Palestine together, Israeli and Palestinian nations together, bringing peace in the Middle East. They say that's the most important thing right now. Russia and Israel tweeted out, "We confirmed our readiness to receive the leaders of Israel, Palestine, in Russia so that they resume direct dialogue without any preconditions. In due time, our Israeli colleagues, including Prime Minister Netanyahu, asked us about it." Abbas also agreed with this. So they both agreed. Both Israel and Palestine agreed with Russia. We'll see how this goes. Our proposal, by the way, I'm being serious with this because this is prophecy in the making. Our proposal to host the leaders of Israel and Palestine remains relevant. We believe that it would be at least a very important step in restoring confidence. Without this, it's impossible to count on any further progress in the Israeli-Palestinian settlement. He continued with 3 more tweets. Following Netanyahu's meeting with Putin, the Israeli leader, Netanyahu, said that the direct link between us contributes to security and stability in the region, stating the 2 most discussed Iranian activity in Syria. So Israel and Palestine with Russia. What they discussed was Iranian activity, mostly, in Syria, and the S-300 air defense system that Russia delivered to Syria in September of 2018. Putin also said the 2 mostly spoke about security issues, adding that he had accepted Netanyahu's invitation to visit Jerusalem. So Putin accepted Netanyahu's invitation to visit Israel this year, as the United States administration is said to be inching closer to publishing its much-anticipated peace plan. Right now, the United States hasn't published it. No one knows what the outlines of it are. No one even knows much about it. It's in much secrecy. But the United States has been pushing it. Jared Kushner spoke about it with them, then he came back to the United States. The media reported it as a flop or a failure, but no one really knows because they didn't give any parts of it. They didn't tell anything about it. So we'll have to see what it entails. Now, after the peace plans were spoken of by Jared Kushner in the Middle East, he left, came back to the United States. Now Russia's getting in on it. As the United States is inching closer to publishing its peace plan, Russia seeks to remain involved in the negotiations. So Russia and the United States are helping bolster a peace plan together for Israel and Palestine and Syria and Iran. Russia seeks to remain involved in all the negotiations. Last month, Lavrov attacked the United States President Donald Trump's proposed plan, saying that it would destroy the Palestinians' achievements to date in the Middle East. So now they're working together, supposedly. Speaking at a meeting in Moscow with representatives of the Palestinian factions, including Fatah and Hamas, Lavrov said to Trump's so-called deal of the century, that's a plan that has not been formally presented yet, so no one knows what it includes or entails, but it does not include a Palestinian state with East Jerusalem as its capital. And President Trump, that's the argument. They want to make Jerusalem, Israel's capital, rightfully so, but that's what Trump wants to do. But the rest of this world wants to make Jerusalem Palestinians' capital. That's the one part that differs in their peace deals, basically. Moving on to the article, the lack of a diplomatic horizon and the stalled peace process between Israel and the Palestinians was worrying, they said, especially in the light of the position Washington is taking on it. The foreign minister stated that, adding that the internal Palestinian split between Fatah, which controls the Palestinian Authority in the West Bank, and Hamas, which controls Gaza, or the Gaza Strip, it gave the United States an excuse to promote a peace plan that does not improve upon previously signed agreements. That's what Russia's claiming. But in April of 2017, 2 years ago, the Russian Foreign Ministry issued an unusual statement, saying, for the first time, that in the event of a peace agreement between Israel and the Palestinians, West Jerusalem should be the capital of Israel, which is unusual because Russia has never stated that before. Russia has never agreed that West Jerusalem, should be the capital of Israel. They've always been deeply against that, but suddenly they're for it. The statement said that Moscow is deeply concerned about the situation in the Palestinian-Israeli conflict, and they want to resolve peace basically as soon as possible, including the complete absence of negotiations and the deterioration of the situation on the ground. So we'll see how these peace accords play out, and I'll bring you updates on it. Let me know your thoughts on this. Do you think this will go through? Do you think this is a part of the final peace deals that are supposed to take place? So what do you think is going to happen? Is it the false peace and security spoken of? We'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens, but I find it interesting that it's taking off at such an exponential rate. Peace, much love. My PayPal link is below. Feel free to support, and also feel free to leave your comments on what you think in the comment section below. Subscribe if you haven't. If you have, thank you so much. Peace. Pun intended, I suppose. Peace. Much love. Bye.